Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome to the channel. So today we are going to be starting Umineko When They Cry. So I am very excited to start this series, as some people said that this is even better than Higurashi. But yeah, we're gonna find out if it is, right? So for the story wise, I didn't check obviously because I didn't want to spoil myself, but it did look like the characters are, I guess, like rich people, because yeah, they had like suits on, elegant dresses and stuff like that, right? So I can't wait to see, or yeah, to find out what the mystery or the story of this game is about, right? So for this let's play, we're gonna be using the Umineko project version of the game. So yeah, it's pretty much a modded version, just like when we did with Higurashi, right? So you can get much more better sprites, much better, I guess, music, much better voice acting. So yeah, get a much more better, what do you call this, experience in playing the game, right? But for the translation, we are not going to be using the Umineko project one. We are going to be using the witch hunt one. People said that this is much better. I keep saying much better, but yeah, they did say that this is the better one out of the two. Even though Umineko project has its own translation, Witch Hunt is the superior one, so we're gonna be using that. So yeah, before we start, I just want to ask you guys, which one do you prefer, Umineko or Higurashi, or which one is your favorite, I suppose, right? Just tell me, like, in small details. Don't spoil anything, of course. Just say something like, oh, I like this series much better because the story, the characters, right? Yeah, just tell me. I want to see your opinions, like which one is the better one. So yeah, we're gonna be starting episode 1 today. So this one, episode 1, The Legend of the Golden Witch. Welcome to Rokenjima. The Golden Witch extends you her heartfelt greetings. Before anything else, please make yourself at home. There is nothing to think too deeply about. Just be silent and take in the events in their entirety as they unfold. That is all that is asked of you. The difficulty level is standard. Let us at least begin on the trodden road. So yeah, let us begin. So by the way, this game is also called When the Seagulls Cry, right? I mean, Higurashi was When the Cicadas Cry, right? So what is seagulls? Like, isn't Umi means sea? And then Neko means cats, sea cats. I don't know. The old physician let out a sigh as he removed a stethoscope. Two elderly men could be seen in the dimly lit study, which was filled with dust and a sickly sweet stench. Oh, you know they're rich. Like, look at this. You got some armor in a, I guess, an office here. Full knight armor. 2 of them. They are very rich. So in the corner of this room, which was much larger than what most people would call a study, was an expensive looking bed, a man undergoing a medical examination, and the physician conducting it. There was also what appeared to be a servant watching over the whole scene. USHIROMIYA Kinzo. Okay, Kinzo. As the man bearing his chest for the stethoscope rearranged his clothes, he spoke unapologetically. Kinzo-san. Kinzo-san. Why is it colored san here? Why is it color green? Is there any meaning to that?
あんたの体が一見調子がいいのは薬が効いてるからだ。だが、そんな強い酒を飲み続けては薬の意味もなくなってしまう。悪いことは言わん。酒は控えなさい。忠告の気持ちだけはありがたくいただいておく。我が友よ。源氏。もう一杯頼む。心持ち薄めでな。南條の顔も立ててやれ。よろしいのですか。
So I guess this is I guess like a butler, right? Ronoe Genji. Ronoe? After eyeing both the master who demanded the alcohol and the family doctor who forbade it, Genji, the old butler, silently gave a slight nod and carried out his master's orders faithfully. The family doctor, Nanjo, let out a deep sigh once again as he watched the butler busy himself alongside the liquor cabinet. There was a smell filling up the room. This sweet, poisonous aroma felt as though it melted the heart, if not the soul itself. It was a smell of that venomous green drink that the man couldn't bear to part with.
Nanjo, お前は私の長きにわたる親友だ。今日まで私を長らえさせてくれたことを深く感謝する。
私は何も。医者としての忠告など、金蔵さんは全く聞いてくれませんからな。お前とて差し間違えた手を待てと言っても聞かぬではないか。ならば愛子というものだろう。親方様。すまぬ。薬は切れても死にはせんが、こいつが切れては死んでしまうでな。
So for him, he still wants to drink even though it's bad for him. Disregarding Nanjo, who had his face set in a resigned expression, Kinzo took the glass that Genji was holding out to him. Very few people would associate that venomous color with an alcoholic beverage.
Nanjo, 正直に話せ。私の命はあとどの程度持つ？さて、どのくらいと申し上げれば、そのお酒を控えてくれますやら。
Nanjo once again let out a sigh of resignation. Then he finally spoke to Kinzo as the latter swirled his glass.
長くはありませんな。どの程度に長くないというのだ。このチェスで例えましょう。金蔵さんの爪もなかなかですが、私のキングを追い詰めるには至りますまい。
Nanjo's gaze was directed at the side table with a massive chess set placed on top of it. Judging by the positioning of the pieces, the game seemed to be entering its final stage. Black rooks, and the bishop were cutting deeply into enemy lines. White kings had already been castled in the corner so that even an amateur could see that the match would reach its conclusion before too long. Every time Nanjo came to give a medical examination, both of them would make a few moves. Nanjo was hinting that Kinzo would most likely fall into his eternal sleep before this game could be concluded. These were less the words of a physician than they were the words of an old friend.
普通の患者になら遺言を書くよう勧める頃です。遺言とは何だ、Nanjo。私の屍をどのように食い散らかせとハゲタカどもに指南する書き置きなのか。
Okay, so I guess the story is gonna be like he's gonna die, right? Our friend here, Mr. Kinzo-san, right? And then his family members are gonna be fighting for the money. Or not just the money, I guess, but for everything, for the riches, right?
いや、違いますぞ。遺言は意思を残すことだ。遺産分配のことだけを書くものじゃない。ほう。遺産分配以外に書くこととは何なのか。心残りややり残し。受け継いでほしいことや伝えたいこと。
By the way, if any of you are like rich enough to have like wills like this and you experience stuff like this, like getting will of, for example, your grandfather, right? Or your father, and then did your family fight? Because yeah, sometimes they do, right? They always present that in movies, like families fight because they wanted more. For example, they want more percentage of the share, right?
何でもいいんです。
受け継いでほしいことや伝えたいことだと？バカバカしい。この後ろ宮金蔵、後に残したいことも伝えたいこともただの一つもないわ。裸一貫で生まれた。そして裸一貫で死ぬ。バカ息子どもに残したいものなど何一つないわ。
I wish to leave, or there's nothing I wish to leave to my foolish children.
もしも訪れる最後が今日だとしても、今だとしても、私は何も恐れることなくその死の運命を受け入れようではないか。
金蔵さん。
すべてを築き上げた富も名誉もすべてだ。それらは私と共に築き上げられ、私と共に失われよう。後に残してやるものなど何もないわ。何もない。あとは野となれ山となれ。墓も棺も何も望まぬわ。それが魔女と私の契約だ。私が死ぬ時に全てを失う。
Wait, what? After I'm gone, I care not if it all goes to waste. I desire no tomb, but no coffin. Those were the terms of the contract I made with the witch. When I die, everything will be lost.
初めからその約束だからこそ何も残らぬのだ。何も残せぬのだ。
After reaching a furious crescendo, Kinzo suddenly slumped over. His expression was limp and feeble, as though an evil spirit had possessed him and then left.
だが未練はある。残すものは何一つないが、残したまま行けぬものが一つだけある。
それを書き記せばいい。
So, by the way, they're talking about Kinzo is talking about him signing a contract, right? So it reminds me of a film called Ready or Not. I'm not gonna spoil anything about the movie, but yeah, does this thing have, or does this game have any supernatural stuff in it? If yes, it's probably gonna be kind of like that, right? As he said, he was born with nothing, right? So the movie Ready or Not is kind of like that. Like they were nothing and then they got rich because of some supernatural stuff. But yeah, watch that movie. The movie was pretty good. Yeah.
もちろん生きているうちにこなせればそれでいい。だが万一の時、残されたものがそれを引き継いでくれる。自分に万一があっても必ずその心残りが解決できるように残していく。それが遺言というものです。
When Nanjo tried to gently pat Kinzo's shoulder, the dying man flew into a sudden rage and batted away Nanjo's hand.
ダメだダメだダメだ。私が生きているうちでなくてはならぬ。私は死ねば魂はすぐに契約の悪魔に食らわれて消え去ってしまう。死後の世界も安らぎも私にはないのだ。だから全ては私が生きているうちでなければならぬ。だから遺言状など私には必要ない。そのようなものを書く暇があったなら私は見たい。もう一度見たい。ベアトリーチェの微笑む顔がもう一度見たい。
Beatrice?
ベアトリーチェ、なぜに私をこれほどまでに拒むのか。今こそお前に与えられた全てを返そう。全てを失おう。だから最後に もう一度だけお前の美少を見せてくれ。ベアトリーチェ、頼む交渉だ。聞こえているはずだ。お前はそういう女だ。頼む、姿を見せてくれ。いるんだろう。聞こえていながら姿を消し、今もこの部屋のどこかで私を嘲笑っているのだろう。私の前にもう一度現れてくれ。そして微笑んでくれ。なじってくれてもいい。望むならお前の手で私の命を奪ってくれてもいい。このまま一人で死にたくない。お前の微笑みを再び一目見るまでは絶対に死ねないのだ。ああ、ベアトリーチェ、ベアトリーチェ、この命はくれてやる。お前にくれてやる。五章だ、ベアトリーチェ。
Damn. Alchemist presents. What is this? Is this allowed? No, I mean, is this copyrighted? I don't know. We have like an opening, but in Higurashi, I think I skipped every opening in Higurashi though. Yeah, every single opening in Higurashi I skipped. So I guess these are the characters, right? Yeah, they are rich. There's a ton of characters in this game. Yeah, there's a lot. Wow. The first day, October 4th, in 1986. Door of Summer. Okay, so I like how they're showing the name of the song there. Door of Summer.
時代ってやつは進歩してんな。たったの20分でついちまったんだから驚いちまうぜ。
I couldn't help but scratch my head and marvel at how far things have come in recent years. We used to go by boat. Back then, we were all forced to endure nearly half a day of swaying back and forth over the sea before we reached Nijima. Things have gotten so much more convenient these days. Still, I have never been on a plane this small. I've flown in a huge jumbo jet before, but this will be my first experience in such a tiny one. It's gonna shake, isn't it? They say smaller boats shake more than the big ones, so I guess the same rule probably applies to the planes. Just spare me.
大丈夫だよ、バトラー君。
USHIROMIYA George. Okay, easy to remember. George.
船に比べたら全然揺れは少ないよ。
Butler-kun. So I guess Butler is the one we're playing? Or the one talking earlier, I mean.
うわジョージの兄貴かよ。
Okay, so this is Butler. Butler, George.
急に勘弁してくれよ。今ので寿命が3年縮んじまったぜ。つうか、揺れってなんすか？
It is so cool that they have their own, what do you call that, logo here? You see that? Like a bird?
別に俺は飛行機も揺れんのかな、まさか落ちたりしねえかななんて夢にも思っちゃいないぜ。
ごめんごめん。もう小さい頃とは違うよね。あれから6年も経ってるんだし、もうバトラ君も子供じゃないか。
じゃあ兄貴はタバコも酒も OK ってかよ。
So, how old are they?
タバコは興味ねえけど酒は飲んでみたいよな。兄貴なんかおじさんの遺伝子あんなら相当飲めちゃいそうだけど。
僕の場合は好きで飲むというよりは仕事で飲む方が多いからね。日本のビジネスは酒抜きでは難しいよ。
そうっすよね。だから俺も今晩の夕食あたりに初挑戦してみようかなって。
ダメだよ。バトラ君はまだ未成年じゃないか。未成年の飲酒は発育に悪影響を及ぼす可能性がって。
But I like how the characters look in this one. You know what I mean is it's very much more like close up, right? For Higurashi, like it's a little bit back. Like we see the characters, but it's kind of small, right? But for this one, both of them pretty much like, look at this, filling up the whole screen, right?
こんだけタッパがありゃ俺の発育は十分っすから。むしろちょいと身長縮めた方が服が探しやすいくらい。
I puff my chest proudly. Until I hit my growth spurt, my height was below average in my class. But then I grew and I grew, and before I knew it, I'd passed 180 centimeters. 5'11". Yeah, I was 5'11" when I think I was in first year of high school. Yeah. I guess I have all that muscle training and those shady mail order performance enhancing drugs to thank for that. But it kind of sucks though because, dude, it hurts honestly. Like you instantly grow like that, and it hurts. Before then, I'd never dreamed that I'd shoot 10 centimeters above George Aniki, who had reached his peak height early on. Damn, I'll bet my relatives all say, "Look how big you've grown, Butler-chan," or something like that. It's also embarrassing. I wish they'd just give me a break. Anyway, my name is Butler. Well, it's pretty damn weird, don't you think? I gotta wonder what my parents were thinking when they named me that. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of different name, right? Like you see the other guy, George Aniki, right? Just George. And this one, Butler. Okay, that's a very unique, different name. I've never met anyone who could read it right the first time. I usually get called Sento-kun. What's Sento-kun? Sorry, but that's not even close. Yeah, why Sento-kun? My name is written, okay, in that Japanese, what do you call this? Words? Can you read it? No. The first part is my family name, USHIROMIYA. That's a fairly plausible Japanese pronunciation so far. The problem is my given name is made up of characters for fight and person and pronounced butler, battler, butler. Put it all together and you got USHIROMIYA Butler. Pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy, sir. It's crazy enough that my parents decided to call me that, but it's even more crazy that some government worker let them make it official. Code groups are at the top of my must kill first, or must kill list. Anyway, this is one of my cousins. His name is pronounced USHIROMIYA George. He's 5 years older than me, so he must be turning 23 this year. Okay, so Butler is 18, okay. Since the USHIROMIYA cousins consist of 2 boys and 2 girls, I ended up playing with George all the time. And because I've always thought of him as a big brother, I still call him Aniki today.
しかしバトラ君は大きくなったな。
Yeah, people are telling he's pretty tall now. Look, he just said that, right?
男子3日を合わざれば刮目して待つべしとはよう言うたもんや。
やっぱり血かしらね。
Eva.
ルドルフも高校くらいまでは身長そんなになかったのよ。 成長期が遅い方が最終的には伸びるのかもね。
Her voice is familiar though. I can't. But yeah, Higurashi voice. I don't know which character.
んなことないっすよ。男は中身も伴わなくっちゃ。
そうや。バトラ君は分かっとる。男は中身で勝負なんや。常に己の鍛錬を忘れたらあかん。そして虎視眈々とチャンスを待ってドカンと開花させるんや。わしもまさか今日会社社長なんて一国一城の主になれるとは思わんかった。そうや、あの無一文の焼け野原がわしの原点なんや。
This stout, plump old guy is George Aniki's dad, Uncle Hideyoshi. He's the husband of Dad's older sister. Oh, okay, so... Okay. In other words, we're not blood related. So the one he's blood related to is, what do you call this? The auntie. Yes, the auntie. He is nice to children, sociable all the time, and even quick to give out some spending money to us kids. Simply put, he's an awesome uncle. Dude, if I'm rich as him, I would give, yeah, your relatives money. He speaks in an odd and very noticeable Kansai dialect, but he's actually a natural-born Kanto man. Apparently, impressions are everything in the business world. So speaking in a different style than other people is an act that makes him stick out more. However, I hear he gets embarrassed when talking within earshot of a real Kansai person, so he switches back to standard Japanese. I don't really get it, but he's definitely an interesting person.
すぐ自分の自慢話に入っちゃうのがたまに傷なのよね。およしなさいな。
Yeah, this voice is Takano, definitely, right?
バトラ君、耳にタコができちゃってるんだから。
Yeah, it's Takano's voice. Eva.
ねえ。
そんなことねえっすよ。でもいいじゃないっすか。語れる武勇伝があるってのは男としてかっこいいことだと思いますよ。俺なんか語るような話は何もないっすからね。
あら、そう？バトラ君なんかそのルックスでいっぱい女の子を泣かせてそうだから、さぞかし武勇伝が多そうだと思ったんだけど。
うわあ、情報弾じゃないっすよ。そんな妙な武勇伝あるわけないじゃない。むしろ紹介してほしいくらいっす。
あら、あるんでしょ、武勇伝。おばさんにも後で教えてね。ジョージったらそういう浮ついた話が全然ないんだから。
This is George Aniki's mother, Aunt Eva. She's my dad's older sister. She and Uncle Hideyoshi are a pair of jokers. Okay. And they always tease me back as far as I can remember. This sometimes made them a bit hard to get along with when I was small. Well, I guess events of the last 30 seconds prove that they can still be hard to get along with. Even so, George Aniki's family is interesting and fun, and they seem to get along just fine. That's pretty much the total opposite of my family.
バトラ君、
USHIROMIYA Kirie. Who is this then?
ルドルフさんを見なかった？
Rudolph-san. Another sister?
あ、さっきお手洗いに行くのを見ましたけど、まだ出てこないんすか？こりゃぽっくりいっちまったかな。ナムナムナムナム。
Wait, what does this green? Is there any meaning to this green in the font, or is it just they just put it there for no reason?
自分のお父さんにそんな言い方はないでしょ。まあ、あの人のお手洗いが長いのは今に始まったことじゃないしね。
ああ、アンニャルは昔っからそうです。雑誌持ってトイレに入るのやめてほしいんすよね。何の雑誌持ち込んで何をしてんだか。
あら、そんな心配は全然不要よ。私と一緒にいる以上、そんなこと一人でさせやしないもの。
Look at this guy's face.
なんの話か。後でじっくり聞きたいっすね。親父め、玉まで握られてグーの音も出ないわけだ。
握っとかないとどういうことになるかよーくわかってるでしょ。
いやいや、まったく。
What?
あのクソ親父の手綱はキリエさんにしか無理っすよ。実の息子の俺も喜んで譲っちゃいますわ。
ええ、任せてちょうだい。そういうの得意なのよ。
This woman is my father's wife. Her name is USHIROMIYA, so that's your mom? What? As you can probably tell from our conversation, oh, she's not my real mother, okay? No, because she looks way too young. A little, yeah, older than Butler, but yeah, maybe just a little bit, right? Maybe, let's say 10 years older, something like that. She is basically my stepmom. Okay, I see. My real mom died 6 years ago. Hirei-san is a woman Dad married afterwards. It's understandable for someone my age. I could never bring myself to call his new wife mom. And I doubt she feels like using the word son on his massive kid who's no relation to her at all. We aren't little kids anymore. We know there's nothing to be gained by fighting. So we decided that we wouldn't force ourselves to pretend that we were a family. I decided to act a bit more frank with her, acting as though she's a friendly neighbor instead. It's much easier if we just keep a little distance instead of forcing ourselves to act all close and making each other uncomfortable. Kirei-san has always been very open about all this, and thanks to that, we've been able to get along pretty well. Then, just when we were bad-mouthing Dad about being in the bathroom, he's gonna come now. The man himself came back, wiping his hands with a handkerchief. Ushiromiya, Rudolph.
バトラー
なんだよ、親父。
His dad is a jokester as well.
耳つねんな、耳。
また母さんと俺の悪口を言ってたろう。なんでお前には父親に対する尊敬の念ってやつがわかねえんだ。
いでででででででででででで。ああ、いでえよ、クソ親父。俺の耳伸ばしたって空は飛べねえぞーい。
ほれほれ、縦縦横横丸書いて逆に回して倍率どんどんさらに2倍。お父様、失礼なこと言ってごめんなさいって言ってみろ。
冗談じゃねえぜ。そういうのは会員制のお店でやりやがれってんだ。だから話せって。
This old bastard is my dad. I think I'm pretty tall myself, but Dad's just about as tall as I am. It's no surprise Aunt Ava started talking about Dad's blood when she saw my height. By the way, my height isn't the only thing I got from him. What is this? It seems having a weird name runs in the family. I mean, I guess Rudolph. Dad's full name is written in Dad. You can't read it, can you? Come on, it's just... Anyway, this guy's name is pronounced Rudolph. He must hate grandfather for giving him that name. Still, that's no reason to pass that weird naming tradition on to me. Honestly, his voice actor, right? Reminds me of... You know Yamato in Naruto? I was like, when I heard his voice, I was like, kinda similar to Yamato's voice in Naruto. Yeah. Captain Yamato. Because yeah, sometimes Yamato would talk like that sometimes, right?
こらこらルドルフ、息子に乱暴してるんじゃないわよ。
言ってよ姉貴。
The scene is perfectly illustrated the relationship between the prankster's younger brother and older sister, who could deal out punishment to him despite his size.
エヴァ姉さん、そのくらいにしてあげてください。同じ分、後で反対の耳を私が引っ張って伸ばしておきますので。
あら、ごめんなさいね。キリエさんの引っ張る分も残しておかなくっちゃ。ルドルフ、 後でたっぷりキリエさんにお仕置きしてもらいなさいね。
たく、姉貴こそ弟いじめもいいとこだぜ。秀吉兄さんもこんな姉貴を拾ってくれて本当にありがとうございます。
秀吉兄さん。
兄さんの寛大さがなかったら今でもまだ売れ残ってますよ。弟として申し訳ないです。
誰が売れ残るって？
After taking 2-3 steps back, Aunt Ava unleashed one of her beautiful high reverse roundhouse kicks, which stopped just a centimeter away from the tip of Dad's nose. After starting out with Tai Chi Chuan for her figure, Aunt Ava then developed an interest in the Chinese martial arts. After that, she went through karate, taekwondo, capoeira, and what is it she's learning now again? Well, anyway, they say a woman's weapons are in her lower body, and that's literally true for Ava.
ルドルフ、側頭部直撃だと一発で混沌するわよ。
Dude, this is literally Takano. It didn't even change it, honestly.
この間演舞でミスって相方泡吹いちゃったんだからね。
いやいや、足癖の悪い姉貴で本当に申し訳ないです。
Dad, completely unfazed, shrugged and smiled ironically at Uncle Hideyoshi.
わしには兄弟がおらん。だからエヴァとルドルフ君のじゃれ合いを見とると胸がポカポカしてくるんや。兄弟や家族はほんまにええもんやな。
あら、ジョージ君に弟を作ってあげるという話はないんですか？もうジョージ君も立派な大人になって手も離れたでしょうから、次の子がいてもいいでしょうに。
おいおいキリエ、生まれてくる子の苦労も考えてやれよ。よくこの性悪姉貴から生まれて、ジョージ君はあんなにもまっすぐ育ってくれたもんさ。本当にジョージ君は偉いな。うちのボンクラに今度爪の赤を分けてやってくれよ。
So how big is this family, by the way?
そんなことないわよ。エヴァ姉さんの教育が間違ってなかったから、ジョージ君はあんなに素直ないい子になったんだから。ですよね、姉さん。
あらあら、そんな。うちのジョージもまだまだ頼りなくって。そうそう、それよりお宅のエンジェちゃんはどんな具合なの？
Your little Anji-chan.
吐いちゃったって聞いたけど。
そうやそうや。久しぶりに顔が見れると思って期待してたんやで。
Wait, so Butler has a sister?
大丈夫なんか？
いつも季節の変わり目に風邪をひくんです。どうも弱くって。本当は連れてきたかったんですけど、今回は私の実家に面倒見てもらっています。
Also, I guess Butler has a stepsister, but she's not here.
それが賢明よ。本家の毒気に当てない方が治りは早いもの。大人の都合より子供の病気の方が大事よ。
わしな、吐く風によう効く薬知っとんや。帰ったらすぐ送るさかい使うてくれや。
ありがとうございます、秀吉兄さん。いつもお世話になりっぱなしで。
And once the conversation suddenly veered off in that direction, we kids didn't have any chance of butting in. For now, I'm just happy Aunt Ava gave Dad his just desserts for tugging on my ear.
まだ天候調査中がなくならないね。
George Aniki pointed at the counter. The checking weather sign was still stuck next to the departure times for the flight we were scheduled to board. According to Aniki, smaller planes are more subject to winds and other effects of the weather. And it's not common for flights to be delayed because of that. Well, wait a second. We are totally sure it's not gonna shake, right? From down here on the ground, it just looks cloudy, not windy. Well, I guess it's different up where the planes fly.
ちょっと天気が怪しいものね。
Aunt Ava looked at a TV in the lounge. The weather forecast was being broadcasted, informing us that a typhoon was approaching the Kanto region.
また台風か。親族会議が毎年10月ってんじゃ。もうちょい時期を選んでくれりゃいいのによ。
どうかね。私もお盆の時期にやってくれればっていっつも思うわよ。ならルドルフ、それ今回の会議でお父様と兄さんに提案してみればいいじゃない。
Nissan, so they got an older brother still.
冗談。姉貴が言えよ。俺が何を言っても兄貴は聞かねえよ。
いやよ。私は別に10月でも困らないもの。ルドルフが台風が嫌だからって言うから提案したらって言っただけよ。
俺は台風が来るのはいつものことだなって言っただけだろ。お盆の時期がいいって言い出したのは姉貴だぜ。
あら、去年ルドルフも言ったわよ。お盆の時期なら仕事のスケジュールとも合わせやすいのにって。
言ってねえだろ、そんなことよ。
言ったわよ。私、そういうのは絶対忘れないもん。
いや、言ってねえよ。言ってんのはいつも姉貴だよ。
知ってる？寸止めって高等技術なのよ。
チェ、いい年した女がはしたないことばっかしてんじゃねえぜ。
Dad and Aunt Ava's argument looked no different from a couple of brats quarreling.
普段は父親や母親として振る舞っていても、こうして親族会議で元の兄弟に出会うと、子供の頃の自分に戻っちゃうからだろうね。
と、冷静に分析できるジョージ兄貴の方がずっと大人に見えるぜ。俺は将来あんなクソ親父みたいにはなりたくないに。なるなら兄貴みたいな知的な大人になりたいもんだぜ。
僕かい？僕なんかまだまださ。社会経験が全然足りないし、社交性も度胸も足りない。バトラ君にはそれらのいくつかがすでにあるように思うよ。だからきっと成人したら僕なんかすぐに追い抜いちゃうさ。
George Aniki scratched his head and laughed as though trying to hide his embarrassment. Of course, he was just being humble. Aniki entered the university and became an apprentice at Uncle Hideyoshi's company at the same time, studying both academics and how to become a business emperor in parallel. Then, right after graduating, he got into Uncle Hideyoshi's company as his father's aide, piling up a lot of real-life experience as he devoted himself zealously to his work. His great dream is to one day stand on his own and build up his own kingdom. Aniki is a real paragon of a man, sparing no effort as he strives towards his goal. It's no exaggeration to say that I really respect him. And then there's me. I'm nothing at all like Aniki. I'm living my happy-go-lucky idle high school life to the max. I've got no dreams for the future. I'd like to just sit back, stay cool, and let the money flow in. But of course, that could never happen. When Aniki was my age, he had already formed an impressive objective and had started devoting himself towards studying for that goal, so I guess I can't compare at all. My dad says, sure, you can study at my company if you like cleaning toilets. Damn it, I'm not gonna be in debt of that old bastard. I'll find my way myself. If only willpower was all it took to become an adult. True. Should I go on one of those self-searching journeys that are all the rage these days? Well, it's not like I could mooch off my parents for that kind of money. Right then, Uncle Hideyoshi shouted loudly. He is a really nice person on the whole, but he does have a problem controlling the volume of his voice. When I looked over, I thought he was greeting Aunt Rosa, who had come late. Okay, we got another aunt, Aunt Rosa.
ローザさんやないか。マリアちゃん、久しぶりやの。
Rosa and Maria-chan.
久しぶり。
I know this voice.
マリア
This voice, yeah, is a Hanyu. But yeah, much, I guess, if, for example, if Hanyu was level 1, this voice is like level 4, level 5, right?
お久しぶりです。でしょ？
So is this another sister?
言ってごらん。お久しぶりです。
そうや。よく言えたな。ご褒美に飴玉あげような。おっと、あれどこにしまったんや。
ローザさん、お久しぶりです。マリアちゃんもお久しぶり。
ご無沙汰してます、キリエ姉さん、秀吉兄さん。あら、バトラ君？
You're so tall now.
大きくなったわね。
いやー今日は会うたびに言われてて恥ずかしいっすよ。
おうローザ、遅かったな。飛行機がダイヤ通りだったらギリギリってとこだったぜ。
What is the average height in Japan, by the way? Like 5... I mean, Asian countries, yeah, smaller height, right? Like maybe 5'5", 5'6", I guess.
ごめんなさい。列車の接続がうまくいかなくて。なに？また天候調査中なの？
ぼやかないぼやかない。船で6時間も揺られるくらいなら飛行機でほんの30分の方がずっとマシよ。たとえ1時間余計に待たされたって全然早いんだから。
マリアちゃんも大きくなったで。今身長いくつあるんや？
She's also making those sounds that Hanyu makes.
身長いくつあるんや？
Maria-chan parroted Uncle Hideyoshi's question, looking up at her mother. I guess she doesn't remember her own height. She's probably right in the middle of a growth spurt, so her height must change every month. She has a crown as well. Give it a few more years and she'll suddenly start looking feminine.
この間の身体測定でいくつって出たっけ？これでも少しずつは伸びてるんですよ。ねえ。
去年よりもずっと成長したと思いますよ。今年で9歳でしたっけ？
9歳。
そうだね。9歳だね。マリアちゃんも元気そうでよかった。よいしょ。もう高いをするにはちょっと重くなってきたかな。
うわ、ジョージ兄貴、そりゃレディーに失礼だろ。俺がやってやるぜ。高い。
When I went to lift her up in Aniki's place, Maria stiffened defensively, staring suspiciously at my face. Ah, that's right. The last time I met Maria, it was 6 years ago and she was only 3 years old. Of course she doesn't remember my face.
マリアちゃん、覚えてる？バトラ君よ。一緒に遊んでもらったの忘れちゃった？
無理だろ。最後にバトラと会ったのは3つの時だぜ。3つの時の記憶なんか残ってねえよ。
She must know everyone's face apart from mine because she meets them every year, but I haven't had contact with the USHIROMIYA family for about 6 years now. So it's no surprise that this 9-year-old girl doesn't have any memories of me. Even I can only barely remember her being a 3-year-old crybaby.
マリア、バトラお兄ちゃんよ。
Batla Oni-chan.
ルドルフおじさんの息子さん。わかる？おじさんの息子さんが、おじさんが息子さん。
The ooh sound was probably her brain going to overload at that complicated explanation. I guess the phrasing of that was a bit confusing. Ni or Oni, the title you'd use to refer to an actual older brother, can also be a friendly honorific for a boy who's only a bit older than you. It's like ne or one, the word for big sister.
マリアちゃん、彼はバトラ君。僕と同じいとこだよ。
庄司お兄ちゃんと同じ？バトラ？いとこ？
そう。よくできたね。
This part of Aniki is what makes me really look up to him. For someone who isn't married, he's great at dealing with kids. I'm sure he'll be an indulgent father in the future.
バトラお兄ちゃん？
Maria looked straight at me with a questioning expression, as though asking whether it was okay to call me that.
おうや、俺がバトラだ。よろしくな、マリア。
こらマリア、呼びつけちゃダメでしょ。バトラお兄ちゃんと呼びなさい。
いいっすよ、ローザおばさん。細かいことは気にしないっすから。
Rosa Obasan.
なあマリア、俺とお前は名前を呼びつけ合う仲だもんな。
バトラバトラバトラ。
おや、マリアマリアマリア。
We horsed around for a while to make up for the 6-year gap in our friendship. She probably still thinks of me as nothing else more than a big new friend, but things will probably work out as we get to know each other again. But I'm surprised. She's just the way I remembered her being 6 years ago. Seems that people just don't change that much after all. I'm a bit happy that she's still the pure innocent girl I remember. Her name is written, of course. It's pronounced Maria. Characters looks like a cross, which is pretty cool. Her feelings don't usually show up on her face, so it can be difficult to know just what she's thinking, but that's just how she looks on the outside. On the inside, she's just a sweet, normal girl. Then there's Maria's mother, Aunt Rosa. She's my dad's younger sister, so we got how many siblings now? We got 2. This is the third one that showed up. There's a much older one, right? Rosa is written. Here's a name that totally is not Japanese. Sorry to say, but her name's almost as ridiculous as Dad's. I've got to respect her for not ending up screwed up as he is. When I think about it, all the names in my family sound foreign. Just why is a grandfather so obsessed with that? Because of him, even we grandchildren have to put up with his weird naming sense. It's even more annoying since grandfather's own name is perfectly normal. Yeah, his name is Kinzo. And his kid, I guess his kids are Rosa, Rudolph, Ava, and then we haven't met the other one yet. Anyway, there's one thing about Aunt Rosa that's a relief compared to the other family members. The old bastard and Aunt Ava have this annoying urge to tease and mock people all the time. But even though she shares their blood, Aunt Rosa isn't like that at all. She has the most common sense among all the siblings. Like Uncle Hideyoshi, she's a kind aunt who will always be on the kid's side. However, possibly because she's more strict as a parent, she's not liberal with handing out spending money like Uncle Hideyoshi. Okay, now we have the entire group of family members who are going to board the plane. At that moment, as though it had waited for us all to arrive, an announcement rang throughout the
お
lobby.
待たせしました。新島行き201便の搭乗をこれより開始いたします。ご搭乗のお客様はカウンター前の白線前に2列でお並びください。
ローザ、搭乗手続きまだだろ。急げ急げ。
いけない。マリア、いらっしゃい。
We had to go through a metal detector before going out on the runway. Our small plane wasn't as massive as an international flight, but it was still a plane. A staff member holding a metal detector checked us all. Once all of us cleared the check, we followed the staff member out onto the runway. Come to think of it, everyone here is in the USHIROMIYA family. It's like this is a reserved charter flight or something. Our group stopped in front of the entrance to the plane. Then our guide turned around and spoke, looking down at the passenger list as he did.
それではこれよりご搭乗となります。名簿をお読み上げいたしますので、前方の座席、右側から順に右、左、次のそれではお読み上げいたします。後宮秀吉様。
わしからか？はい。そうだエヴァ、飴玉あるか？さっきから探してるんだが見つからないんや。
後宮エヴァ様。
ハンドバッグの中よ。機内に入ったら出すわ。
I've heard that candies are a good way to protect your ears from hurting because of variation in atmospheric pressure when landing or taking off. That's probably what they're talking about.
俺の席窓際だといいな。
大丈夫だよ。窓際席しかないもん。
As George Aniki said, there are apparently only 2 lines of seats. So this is what a small plane is like. We are totally sure it's not gonna shake, right? It is definitely gonna shake.
後宮ジョージ様。
はい。大丈夫だよ、バトラ君。あんまり揺れないから。
後宮バトラ様。
兄貴、あんまりってどのくらいだよ。船から落ちても泳げるからいいが、飛行機が落ちたらそれでおしまいなんだぜ。もちろん客席にはパラシュートがあるんだろ。ねえの？
後宮ルドルフ様。
ほらバトラ、感動してねえでとっとと奥行け。
言って親父。おさってパラシュートがねえんだよ。
後宮桐江様。
ほら仲良くじゃれてないの。進む進む。
言ってえよキリエ。押すなって。ボンクラが進まねえんだよ。
後宮マリア様。
進む進む。
後宮ローザ様。
こらマリア、静かにしなさい。
こちらは機長の川端です。本日は新東京航空201便をご利用いただき誠にありがとうございます。新島空港までは約20分のフライトの予定です。上空の気流が乱れているとの報告が入っています。多少の揺れがあるかもしれませんので、離陸後もシートベルトは外さないようにお願いいたします。
兄貴、シートベルト外しちゃいけない揺れってなんだよ。ジャンボ機なら離陸後はシートベルト外せるぜ。それが外しちゃいけないってどんな揺れだよ。くそー、騙された。何が揺れないだ。パラシュートはどこだよ。やっぱり俺は船が良かった。
Right on. A Legend of the Golden Witch. What is this? USHIROMIYA Butler. So I guess they're just showing the characters, right? The characters' names, I mean. USHIROMIYA George, Jessica. Who's Jessica? We haven't met Jessica yet. Maria. So we got one more, Jessica. Kinzo. Kraus. Who's Natsuhi? So Kraus, I guess, is the older brother. And then Natsuhi is his wife, right? Rudolph, Kyrie, Rosa. Rosa doesn't have a husband. Like, it doesn't show there. Like, USHIROMIYA. No counterpart. And then we got Nanjo Terumasa, the doctor earlier. Shannon and Cannon. Chiyo, Goda Toshiro. So I guess this is the cast. I mean, they're showing the cast of characters that we're gonna have in this story. Umineko no Naku Koroni, or Umineko When They Cry. And honestly, I enjoyed that start. Like people would say like, oh, it's a slow start. I enjoyed it though. Very happy start. Yeah, I like that. Even though, yeah, in the beginning for Kinzo, right? Even though we had that.
やっぱ船だよな。
But yeah, the start itself is very nice. So what do we have here? Yeah, we got this one. Let me check this one, I guess. Characters. Okay, Kinzo's second child. Hostile towards her brother Kraus. Ooh. Opposes him in almost everything from issues dealing with the family fortune to the question of who will succeed the family headship. I kind of like this, that they have this in the game, right? In Higurashi, I always wanted this in Higurashi because sometimes I would forget the names of the characters. So yeah, very nice that they have this. And they also give you, what do you call this? Information about them. Normally, she would have lost her place in the USHIROMIYA register upon her marriage, but she managed to forcibly overcome this by having her husband take her family name. I suppose. Eva's husband took his wife's name upon their marriage and was welcomed into the USHIROMIYA family. Therefore, he doesn't possess the spiteful USHIROMIYA genes, and his bright smile is very refreshing at the family conference. Yeah, Hideyoshi looks like the very, very good uncle, right? I wonder, in this mystery game we're having, like I can't see this guy being a bad guy, right? Unless, for example, he has a hidden personality, right? We'll see. He started his business from scratch and now works as the president of a company operating medium-sized restaurants. Apparently, a business is soaring and things are going extremely well. George, Eva and Hideyoshi's son. Okay. Oldest of the 4 cousins. Rudolph. Along with his sister, he intends to make his voice heard during the family conference to prevent their elder siblings, Kraus, from keeping all of their father's wealth. Okay, so Kraus is gonna be for sure a target, I guess, for the other siblings. Like if he's gone, of course, the next one is gonna be up, right? Ava, Rudolph, Kyrie, Rudolph's second wife. Okay, he serves as Rudolph's right hand in several shady pieces of business, guiding them to success. Okay, shady businesses. Rudolph, USHIROMIYA butler, turned against his father 6 years ago when he married a second wife. Immediately after Asumu passed on, he went to live with his grandparents on his mother's side. I see. That's why earlier he was saying like, oh, you haven't seen Butler for 6 years, if I'm correct, right? Because he was living with the grandparents. And he has now returned to the USHIROMIYA family after 6 years. Okay, that's why he was gone. USHIROMIYA Rosa. It seems that this gives her a weaker position at the family conference. She manages as a design company, but she has yet to start taking it seriously, and its financial situation is far from favorable. And then we got Maria here. Her father's identity is unknown. Will we know about her father's identity? We will see. She can't shake off the habit of speaking like a young child, which often earns her a scolding. She has no interest in studying or making friends, but is very interested in things concerning the occult and black magic. Oh, hell no. Oh my god. She's gonna start all of this for sure. And thanks to her excellent powers of memorization, she knows all kinds of obscure trivia. Okay, Maria is gonna be suspect number 1. But yeah, honestly, very, very nice opening. I enjoyed it. As I said, I do like the happy moments all the time, and then it becomes I guess sad or intense later on, right? So I appreciate these moments, especially when they were introducing the characters, right? I like that it was very, very jolly when they were introducing them one by one, and then Butler was explaining to us like, oh, this is my dad, this is my auntie, this is my uncle, this is my cousin. I like how they're explaining each one of them whenever they're introducing them, right? So that's pretty cool. So yeah, first episode done, or I guess I'm gonna just say part for this one because we are in episode 1 of this game, right? It's gonna be confusing and be like, what last episode or in the next episode? I'll just say next part, I guess. So in this part, very nice opening, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so if you're here, you checked this out, you made it at the end of the video, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. So hopefully you join me when we go and finish up, I guess, or go through the whole journey of this Umineko When They Cry, right? So yeah, we're gonna continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.